Yo, welcome to lesson 35. Today we're going to put all of our learnings together to turn the project that we have built in lesson 19 to a website. We're going to go step by step so you can see my thought process and how I build websites. This is essential if you want to escape tutorial hell. Just a quick recap, we basically built a store app where we can add items and also remove items. We also display what's in the cart and we also calculate the total of the cart. Before jumping straight into code, it's always a great idea to draw a simple layout of what you will be building. So here's my simple design. At the top, we have a title. Then we have a form where users can enter an item name and a price, and then they can add it to the cart. Next, we display the total price of the cart. And finally, we have our cart. It's basically a list of items with a remove button beside it. So that way we can remove items as well. So let's go to replit.com and let's create a new HTML, CSS, JavaScript project. So click this. I'm going to call this lesson 35 and let's create the repo. Nice, and the cool thing about Replit is we have this whole template already provided to us. And today we're going to use Bootstrap as well to speed up our development. So head on over to Get Bootstrap, go to Get Started and go to Introduction, and let's copy the CSS link and go back to Replit and now paste it above the style.css. And now let's click Run. Cool, so everything looks great. Let's get rid of Hello World. And now let's create a div to contain all of our content. And for the div, let's give it the class container, which will make our website responsive. Then let's create a h1 tag and let's call it welcome to my store. And now let's click run. So this looks good. Next, we want to center this text. So let's go to Bootstrap and let's search center text and let's click that. And cool, they have a class just for this. So let's copy this and let's go back and let's paste this for h1 and now let's click run. Awesome, this looks great. And also let's add some padding to the top. So let's go back to Bootstrap. Let's type padding. And let's click the second one. Cool, so it looks like we just need to follow this format, property size dash size. So the property is P for padding, and we want Y so that we have padding for the top and bottom. And for size, let's go with 3. So let's go back. So let's add a space and type PT-3. And now let's click run. And that looks a lot better. Cool, so I'm just showing you guys how I use Bootstrap as a resource to build my website. As you can see, I don't memorize anything. All I do is I search their docs for whatever I need. And that's basically how you should approach building your websites. Next, we need to create a form. So let's search up form. And let's click the first one. And let's click layout. Okay, let's scroll down. And cool, this looks like something that we want to use. So let's just copy it. And let's go back to Replit. And let's paste it underneath the title. And let's fix the spacing. And now let's click run. And cool, this looks pretty good. Cool, so one thing we forgot to do was to wrap this inside a form. So let's add form here and then close it. And let's copy the closing and move it to the end. So drop it here and backspace and then tab everything else. And we should also add a label here. So let's do label for equals, and let's give this input an ID. So let's do ID equals, and let's call it item name. And for this one, let's do item price. ID equals item price. And now let's copy the item name and paste it here. And now let's call this item name. And let's close this. And let's update the placeholder to item name. And let's do the same for the bottom. And let's call this item price. And now let's copy this label and add it to this one as well. And let's rename this to item price. And let's call this item price. And now let's click run. All right, that looks great. And one last thing we need to do is to add a button. So let's follow the pattern and add another column. So div class equals column, close it. And let's put input type equals submit and value equals add item. And now let's close the input and now let's click run. And this button looks kind of off. So let's go back to Bootstrap and now search for button. Let's click the first one and let's copy this class for the primary button. And let's go back and let's add this to our input. And now let's click run. That looks a lot better, but we want this to align to the bottom. So let's go back to Bootstrap. And if you remember, the best way to align items is to use flex. So let's search flex, align items. And let's click the first one. And it looks like what we need is the second one, which is align items end. And if you remember, we need to include the d-flex. So let's copy this whole thing and let's go back to Replit. And we want to add this class to the column because this column contains the button that we want to align. Now let's click run. And just like that, everything looks perfect. Next, let's add some text to display the total price of the cart. Let's just copy the title text and paste it below the form. And let's change this to total price. Total price, $0. And let's click run. That looks good. And let's change this to H3 so that it's smaller. Click run again. Okay, that looks perfect. Cool. And now the last thing we need is a list. So let's go back to Bootstrap and let's type list. And let's go to the first one. And this looks like what we need. Let's copy this, go back to Replit, scroll down, and let's paste it under the total price. Now all we have to do is just write some JavaScript to get everything working together. So first, let's create a onSubmit function for the form. So let's do onSubmit equals quotation marks, return, add item, and then let's open the parentheses and pass this, and then end it with a semicolon. Now let's go to script.js, and now let's write that function. So function, add item, form, and then open the squiggle brackets. Nice, so let's create a variable called item name equal form.itemName.value. And let's copy this and do the same for the item price. So let's change this to price and change this to price as well. And now let's hit enter. And let's do console.log item name and item price. And let's return false as well. And now let's click run. And now let's type something here, 123, 123, add item, and here we can see it. Nice, now let's create a variable outside of this function at the top. Let's make a let total price equals 0, because at the beginning, the total should be 0. And now let's hit enter. And in the add item function, we should add the item price to the total price. So let's do total price plus equals parse int item price, and then put a semicolon at the end. And now get rid of the line above. And now we need to update the text for the total price. So let's go back to index.html and let's scroll down. And let's add an ID for the total price text. So ID equals total price. And now let's go back to script.js. And above the total price, let's find the total price element. So let's hit enter and do const total price elements equals document.get elements by ID. Open the parentheses, and let's put total price. And then end it with a semicolon and hit enter. And now let's take this element and paste it here and do dot inner text equals. And then here, let's do string formatting. So use the tilde key and then type total price, colon, space, $, and then open the squiggle brackets. And then inside put total price and then put a semicolon at the end. And now let's click run. Let's add an apple and let's put $2 for it and click add item. And here the total price increased. So we should also put a $sign in front so that way we see a $sign. So let's do that and let's click run again. And now let's put apple and price is 2. And here we see $2. Nice. Now the last thing that we have to do is add this item to the list. So first we have to create a list item. So let's start with that. So hit enter twice and let's do const list elements equals document.create elements, and then open the parentheses and then type li for list item and then end it with a semicolon. And now let's write the text for the item. So const text node equals document.create text node, and then open the parentheses and let's use string formatting again and then open the tilde and then use the $ key and then the squiggle brackets, and then inside here let's put item name. And then let's put a space and a dash and do it again for the price. So $, squiggle bracket, and then item price, and then end it with a semicolon. And now let's do list elements dot append child text node. And now we need to attach the list element to the parent. So let's create another variable and let's call it parent list elements equals document.get elements by ID. And let's give it the ID list. And then let's close this and then hit enter. And let's copy this ID list and go to index.html and give the unordered list UL the ID equals list. And let's copy the name of this class and let's get rid of these items. And now let's go back to script.js and then scroll down a bit. And on line 15, hit enter. And now do parent list elements dot append child. And let's append the list element. And now let's click run. And now let's add another apple, price of 2, and hit enter. In here, as you can see, the apple is added, but it doesn't have the style that it had before. So all we have to do is just add that class to the list element. So let's go back to the code and hit enter and do list element dot class list dot append, and then open the parentheses and then paste the name of the class. So list dash group dash item, and then put a semicolon. And now let's click run again. And now let's put apple and let's put $2 and click add item. So it looks like we got an error. List element class list append is not a function. So my bad. Instead of append, we should have used add. So let's replace append with add. And now let's try it again. So click run. And now let's type apple and then 2 and click add item. And boom, just like that, apple dash 2 is there. And now let's try adding a banana, and that's $3 and click add item. And our total is $5 now, and we have an apple and a banana. Nice. And now the final thing that we have to do is add a delete button. And to not bore you and to keep the video short, I will just paste the code here. So all this code does is it creates a button, creates text for the button, and we call the button delete. And here we added the delete text to the button. And the cool thing about this class list function is we can add multiple classes by separating them with a comma. So here we're adding button and button danger to the delete button. And then finally, we append the delete button to the list element. And for the list element, I added 2 more classes, deflex and justify content between. So this way the button and the text are separated by space in between. And let me show you by clicking run. And now let's add an apple and let's put $2 there. And here, as you can see, the apple is here and the delete button's on the right end. And if we click delete, nothing happens because we have to hook it up with an event. So let me copy the code over and let me paste it. And cool, all we're doing here is we're adding an event listener on the click event. And this is a short form notation of writing a function. So all you have to do is do the parentheses. And in the parentheses, you can pass your parameters if you have any. And then you put an equal sign and then an arrow key. And then you have your squiggle brackets. So anything inside the squiggle brackets is the body of the function. So here we're basically taking the list element and we're calling remove. So that way we can get rid of it. And then we subtract from the total price, the price of the item. And finally, we update the text with the new total price. So now let's click run. Let's add an apple, that's $2. And now let's add a banana, which is $3. And now let's click add item. And now let's remove the banana. And notice how the total price is $2 now and the banana is gone. And now let's delete the apple. And now we're back to $0. Cool, just like that, we turned lesson 19 into a front-end website. And for homework, do you think we did anything wrong in this lesson? Take a guess and drop your guess in the comments below. In the next lesson, I'll explain what we did wrong in this lesson. Cool, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next lesson.